Okay, once again, sorry. You know, the problem is that now continuously the people, they are sending me inbox messages and there are comments, and those comments I see, I don't know how to disconnect this thing. Okay, we will continue the same topic, reading and writing. I want to continue the same topic. This is part 2 of reading and writing. How to read newspapers, books, and how to write in examination hall. This is the topic. So Munib, we will discuss this in a CSS group. Today my topic, my focus is on reading and writing. So when you want to read, so what is this reading process? So I always recommend that you must have Merriam-Webster dictionary, because that is the dictionary of definitions. That's not the dictionary of meanings, because for term we give definition and for word we give meaning. So there is a difference between meaning and definition. Meaning and definition. So when we say the word reading, so in linguistics, this is a term. In linguistics, reading is a term, because reading is a process in which we decode the symbols in the form of words. When we have words and we see those words in the form of symbols and we decode those symbols, then this process is called reading. Now, what is reading? Reading is that when you see the symbols in the form of words and you can decode, you decode those words, then this process is called reading. So now reading between lines means that you know the context, where from the meaning come. Reading, when you see some symbols, I will be writing on this also in the English language with Naeem Khan group. There will be a detailed discussion on this, but just I want to sensitize you that reading is decoding. Decoding. When we decode, so decode means that when there is a code, for example, this A, B, C, Alif, Bet, Se, these are symbols. Okay, and for example, plus, minus, multiplication, division, all these are symbols. Before there were pictograms. Have you heard the word pictogram? Pictograms. Pictograms. What is pictogram? Or for example, in China, still they use pictograms or syllables. They use big symbols like flowers. You see, those are symbols. But in Latin or Arabic or even Cyrillic in Russian language, they have simplified those codes. For example, when you say, A, so you write this symbol, A. And when you write the sound B, so then you write B, the symbol B. Now, what is the connection between, this is very interesting thing, that what is the connection between A and the symbol of A, B and the symbol of B, C, and then you write the letter C. So in linguistics, the study of language, the scientific study of language, there we see that how phonemes or phonetic symbols, for example, there is IPA. Do you know what is IPA? Who knows what is IPA? IPA is International Phonetic Alphabet. IPA. When you see, for example, in Oxford Dictionary, so they will give the pronunciation of the word in other symbols which are not ABC, because alphabet, ABC, the group of letters, this is not the exact representation of the sounds, because in language, sound is very important. When there is a sound, so in IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, that is very important, that how can you represent the sound in a symbol. So ये मैं आपको बड़ा मुश्किल किस्म की बात कर रहा हूं. ये जब हम मसलन हम लिखते हैं सी, तो सी का जो साउंड है, जो आवाज है सी सा, तो इसको हम सी से लिखते हैं. लेकिन जब हम लिखते हैं कैट का, तो उसको भी सी से लिखते हैं. तो हम कैट कार उसको भी सी से लिखते हैं, और हम लिखते हैं सीज, CEASE, सीज, टू फिनिश, टू बी फिनिश्ड, सीज, उसको भी सी से लिखते हैं. So why this is so? That's why we need International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA. That for ka sound there will be one symbol, and for C sound there will be another symbol. And this pronunciation is very much important when we read, because reading is basically decoding the symbols. What symbols are there written in a text, or it may be a screen, and you see those symbols. So how you are going to decode those symbols? And decoding means that how you put those symbols in your mind, in your brain, in your central nervous system, and what meaning you attribute to those symbols. What are the meanings that you are going to attribute to those symbols? So that's why reading is a very interesting hobby. Those people who read text in a paper or on screen, so this is a very, very interesting hobby, because you are decoding, deciphering, cipher. Somebody has written codes to you, and you are decoding those codes. आपको किसी ने एक अजीब किस्म के अलामत वहां लिखी है, और आपने हर अलामत से अपने लिए माना लेना है. तो ये जो पढ़ना है, ये एक बहुत ही मुफीद और बहुत ही जबरदस्त किस्म का मशगला है. मतलब ये कोई बोरिंग काम नहीं है कि आप कोई मतलब इस तरह के काम कर रहे हैं जिसमें आप बोर हो जाएंगे. तो इसमें बोर होना नहीं है, क्योंकि आप एक मुसलसल, एक बंदे ने आपको सिंबल्स में मैसेज भेजा है और आप उस मैसेज को डीकोड कर रहे हैं. डीकोड का मतलब है कि उसके जो कोड है, जो राज है, उस राज को आप अपने तरीके से अपने माइंड में उसको आप डाल रहे हैं. तो इसको कहते हैं रीडिंग. तो मेरियम वेबस्टर डिक्शनरी में आप जब जाए, what is reading, the definition of reading, so they will tell you what is the definition of reading. So today I try to explain first what is the definition of reading. Now, what we read usually, so we read newspapers, we read books, we read screens, you know, we read a lot of things. So how to read a newspaper? This is now the topic. हम एक अखबार को कैसे पढ़े? अब अखबार का मसलन don.com है, कोई भी अखबार है, मैं don.com का कोई एजेंट नहीं हूं, लेकिन वो अच्छा अखबार है पाकिस्तान में, तो उसको पढ़ना चाहिए। कोई भी दूसरा अखबार है, एक्सप्रेस ट्रिब्यून है, डेली टाइम्स, डेली टाइम इज अ काइंड ऑफ आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स न्यूज़पेपर। डेली टाइम में कभी कभी आपको बड़ी अजीब खबरें नजर आती है। Daily Times. I also like Daily Times because they are a kind of iconoclast. Sometimes they will be writing on social issues like gender issues and other issues, which usually the people avoid. Because of social pressures, religious pressures, sometimes we avoid some topics. But in Daily Times, sometimes you see those topics which are usually avoided because of the backlash, because of the wrong repercussions. Some people, may mind it. Some people may feel hurt. So, Dawn, if you read Dawn.com, तो ये जो अखबार है, अखबार या न्यूज, तो आजकल ये लफ्ज जो है वो गलत है। क्यों गलत है, आप कोई मुझे बताएं। 5 मिनट में आपको देता हूं, 2 मिनट आपको देता हूं, आप मुझे ये बताएं कि जो न्यूज़पेपर का वर्ड है या अखबार है उर्दू में, तो ये लफ्ज गलत है। इसको न्यूज नहीं कहना चाहिए और इसको अखबार नहीं कहना चाहिए। मैं don.com को खोल रहा हूं यहां। कौन मुझे बताएगा कि ये जो न्यूज का वर्ड है या अखबार है, जिसको हम अखबार कहते, मैंने आज अखबार पढ़ लिया या आई रेड न्यूज़पेपर, सो दिस इज अ रॉन्ग इंटरप्रिटेशन। ये एक गलत बात है कि हम इस तरह की बात करते हैं। अच्छा, एक बात सब आई, this is a curiosity, this is an interesting thing that I talk to you, that why the sound a is written with a, because it was pictogram. Pictogram was, in Egypt and in Achaemenid empires in Iran, when they would write, so they would write with diagrams. For example, a man is walking, so for the walk, for going, they will write, legs and body. For flying, they will make a bird, wings. There from the writing process started. So then the people would read. Now, for example, in Mohenjo-daro or many relics we go, so many writing systems today we cannot decode that what was the meaning. So later on it was simplified. Now maybe the sound ah, so then the ah is like a long kind of symbol. That's why I don't know myself that why ah, the sound ah is written with a, and why the b is written with that symbol b, and why C is written with simple C. This is an interesting thing. I have to do a kind of research with you people, that for example, when we say a, so we write it this way, a, okay. But when we say B, so we say this way, B, this sound B, okay. And then there are phonemes. There are small b, there are small sounds within this big sound B, which are called phonemes in linguistics. Linguistics, psycholinguistics, sociolinguistics, phonetics, phonology, pragmatics, syntax, semantics. These are so many sciences involved here. This is not a simple thing that why A is A and why B is B. Maybe we have to discover it, that as the sound A is long one, so we write with a long symbol. B is a little round, so we write it with B. Similarly, in Urdu, Arabic, Pashto, Punjabi, other languages, why we write alif like this? Alif, Be, we write this. Say, we write 3 dots. it's something interesting to conduct further research on why each letter is represented with this particular diagram. So historically, yes, Shahidullah, good. You are right. I will be coming again to this topic. This we will leave because this is very complicated discussion. This pictogram and how the Achaemenids would write, how the Chinese would write, how the Egyptians they started writing. This is reading and writing. That is so Salar Khan is right asking me that is it live? So if you are listening to me live, yes, it is live. Feel that it is live. I am live with you people. We all are living and we are talking to each other in a live way. So the topic today is how to read newspapers and how to read books and how to write in examination hall. This is the topic. So newspapers are not just the paper which gives you news. और अखबार में सिर्फ खबरें नहीं होती, उसमें editorial भी होते हैं, articles भी होते हैं, sometimes they write essays also. So there is a lot of thing, and you can find in newspapers. So this is not just news. There was a time that the people would throw away today's newspaper and tomorrow they would not even see that. But now newspapers, they have journalism. There is a difference between literature and journalism. What's the difference between literature and journalism? When we see literature, so today we are reading Republic of Plato, and we read Shakespeare after hundreds and hundreds of years. But we don't read yesterday's newspaper. So newspapers should be like books, and these are now they are converting. Now even you see some newspapers, they have changed their style. And now their size is a little small. You can read it like a newspaper. New York Times and other famous newspapers, Washington Times, the world famous newspapers, they have changed their style, not like those big sheets that you will be just reading it and then throwing it away. So when we read a newspaper, we should not only read it for news, because the problem with news is that today it is news and tomorrow new, and tomorrow it is not new. This is something new. There is a new news and then you go for the other news and then you forget what was yesterday. So this is the difference between journalism and literature. लिटरेचर और जर्नलिज्म में ये फर्क है कि जर्नलिज्म डे टू डे चीजों को देखता है और लिटरेचर 1000 साल भी गुजर जाए, so you will read the same literary pieces. That is called literature, because that is about life. Aesthetic aspects of life we describe in literature. So that is for the life, and life is continuous. We have life, the Greeks had life, and the coming generation, they will have life. So anything which is related to life, that we will that is discussed in literature. That's why it is never obsolete. Do you know the word obsolete? It is never obsolete. What is obsolete? Obsolete. What is obsolete? Can anybody give me a synonym for obsolete? Archaic. Obsolete means archaic. Extinct. Extinct. Not extent. Extinct. Perishable, which are going to be perished. P-E-R-I-S-H. Perish. So these are all words which are symbols, and we are decoding in we are decoding while reading a newspaper. So when we read editorials or we read articles, or sometimes they write essays, because essay is a literary piece of writing. When you write it in a literary language, in an effective language, then it becomes essay. Otherwise, it will be just a piece of writing which is for information or entertainment, and that is not for effective, persuasive, which may not leave an impact on you. Essay is that it will leave an impact. Outdated, yes, very good, Anna. Outdated, out of fashion, old fashioned, obsolete, archaic. So these things then become, outmoded. Exactly. So when outdated, so when the things become outdated, then we don't read it. Like fashion. Yesterday's fashion, today we don't use it. So newspaper should be a kind of source for knowledge, not only news. So when we read a newspaper, for example, if you have internet, when you come online with me live, you should have one mobile where you can do the assignments, and at the same time, you are also on your laptop talking to me, like I'm doing. This is my mobile. So I'm reading now here dawn.com. So I want that all of you should open dawn.com. Dawn.com is today's newspaper. How to read this newspaper of today? Okay, everybody has special interests. This is each human being is like the replica of God in the form of soul, because God put his soul, his amar, his command in each human being. So we are all equal in many things, but at the same time, we are all different. Today, when I opened dawn.com and I saw the first headline, Saudi Arabia arrest princes, ministers in sweeping purge. So I was like, oh, I read each and every word of this news. Each and every word, because for me, Saudi Arabia is a very interesting country. I take a lot of interest in Saudi Arabia. I read each and everything related to Saudi Arabia, because this is a very strange country that in 21st century, it was not allowing its women to drive. So for me, I want to understand psychologically that what kind of people are Saudis that they won't let a woman to drive a car, for example. And there are so many other things which are very interesting in Saudi Arabia. So when I read this Saudi Arabia arrest princes, ministers in sweeping purge. Look at the language, so beautiful. Sweeping purge, P-U-R-G-E. Do you know this word, purge? If you know the word purge, so you will understand, P-U-R-G-E, purge. Do you know purge? कौन मुझे बताएगा कि हमारी लैंग्वेज में, हमारी कल्चर में पर्ज के लिए हम एक, अब मुझे उर्दू का नहीं पता, पश्तो में उसको कहते हैं जाड़, जाड़ कवल, जाड़, इट इज अ उर्दू वर्ड, जाड़, पर्ज, जाड़. किसको पता है जाड़ का? अभी देखो ना कि हम एक चीज को एक जगह से कहा जो है ना वह मिला लेते हैं. पर्ज, जाड़ करना, जाड़, इज इट एन उर्दू वर्ड और नॉट, आई डोंट नो. जब लोग जो है ना, उनके पुराने जमाने में उनके पेट को साफ करने के लिए उनको एक दवाई दी जाती थी, ताकि वो खा के वो सारा जो है ना उनका अंदर का जो गन होता था वो साफ हो जाता था पर्ज से. उसको एक खास नाम होता था उसका दवाई का, लेकिन पर्गेशन, पर्ज, पर्ज का मतलब है क्लींजिंग, साफ करना. बेसिकली दिस वर्ड कम्स फ्रॉम दैट मेडिकल यूज. Self purification is tazkiye nafs. Faiza Ansari, yesterday I talked on self purification in my second lecture on Islamiyat, Islamic studies. Self purification, it was a question in CSS 2017. What is self purification? So no, purge means to cleanse. When you clean something, purging. Okay. And sweeping means that when it is all inclusive, when it, you know, a lot of sweeping, when you sweep something, like we say, don't give sweeping statements, don't jump to the conclusions. आप बिल्कुल जो है ना एक ही गो में बस एक फतवा दे देने कि भाई हो गया ये, हाँ साफ करना, पर्ज. गुड. साबिर हुसैन जाटियाल. I like your this Jatyal. You know, I like such words really. When I see such words, Jatyal, and I don't know what's the meaning of Jatyal. Is it from Jat? So these local words, you know, local culture, we must preserve these words. Sikandar Rin, I'm happy that you are here. You are master of using good vocabulary, glossary words. Now, after interaction with you people, now I'm recognizing you people, who is who. So your vocabulary is very good, Sikandar Rens. I read it, but try to be, you know, read what is pragmatics. Pragmatics. Read in dictionary, Webster dictionary or Google, pragmatics. Pragmatics. Do you see the word pragmatics? There is a difference between pragmatics and pragmatism. Pragmatism. What is the difference? Pragmatics and pragmatism. Ah, Jamal Gota. Good, yaar. Who is this man? Let me see it again. Jamal Gota, Tafsiruddin. Oh, okay. You are my friend, Tafsiruddin. How are you? Jamal Gota, exactly. So Jamal Gota was a kind of medicine. When the people would use it, so it would cleanse your inside intestines and digestive system, and whatever problems you had inside your digestive. If you had some problem of digestion, and then you would use Jamal Gota, so it would be purging you. That was the original meaning of the word purge. Jatyal, why do you like these names? Because this is unique, you know. Jatyal, such words are unique. I love such words, unique words. If I say Sabir Hussain, so this is a very common word. I see Sabir and Hussain everywhere, but Jatyal is unique. So we must be curious about unique things. So Nilu, your name is also beautiful, practical. You know, this is the problem. Jalab, okay, Javed Iqbal, good. So, you know, the word purge, so much, a lot of, even on one word purge, you can write a book. What is purge? This language, knowledge is so vast. You know, इतना ज्यादा इल्म है कि एक चीज, एक बैक्टीरिया पे 1000 लोग पीएचडी कर सकते हैं, उसके मुख्तलिफ एस्पेक्ट्स पे। इल्म इतना ज्यादा मतलब फैल गया, और आजकल तो इंटरनेट की वजह से गूगल ने जो तबाही कर दी, कोई भी चीज गूगल में डालो और आपको जो है ना उसके अबाव अजदाद और सब कुछ बताएगा कि भाई कौन क्या था। लेकिन चीज, असल चीज क्या है? असल चीज है अंडरस्टैंडिंग। There is a lot of knowledge, but the problem is understanding. I emphasize, I stress, I repeatedly request you people that go on understanding, not knowledge, because there is so much knowledge everywhere. Like the CSS candidate, they are asking me names of books. Just Google it, CSS names of books, and you will get a lot of list. You go to any bookstore and you say, I want to buy books for CSS, and you will get a lot of books. But understanding means when you get that knowledge into you and you use it the way you want, that is called understanding. So pragmatism and pragmatics are two different things. Pragmatism is a philosophy, and pragmatics is branch of linguistics in which we study words in its context. For example, a teacher in a classroom and a boy is coming or a girl is coming. I'm gender sensitized, so sorry for using sometimes boy and girl. Gender sensitization means that you must take care of both boy and girl, not only boy is coming, girl can also come. So when a student is coming, let's use the neutral gender. So when a student is coming and the teacher says, oh, how early you came today. So this is irony. But the context in pragmatics is that the teacher is criticizing the student that why you are coming late, although he is using the word early, not late. How early you are today. So here the word early doesn't mean early. It means late. So this thing is called pragmatics. You know, totally opposite meaning of early. This is irony, and this is also a figure of speech. Irony is a figure of speech, and those people who can do irony, or they can do sarcasm, sarcastic talking. So those people have a lot of sense of humor, and they are intelligent people. Unintelligent people, the people who are not intelligent, so they will not use sarcasm, they will not use irony, they will have no sense of humor. And another thing which is very important, I think you have understood the difference between pragmatism and pragmatics. Pragmatics is a branch of linguistics in which we study words in context, the meaning of the speaker, because each word doesn't mean the same thing throughout. Okay, words can change the meaning. As I give you the example that early may mean late, and late may mean early. So that is pragmatics. And pragmatism is a philosophy in which an idea is valid if you can give it a practical form. If you can't give it a practical form, so that idea is not valid. For example, to touch the sky, it is an idea, but you can't give it a practical form. So this idea is logically invalid. That is pragmatism. And the father of pragmatism is William James. Read him sometime. So sometime, you know, pun, P-U-N, pun, not fun. There is a lot of fun in pun. There is a lot of fun in pun. What does it mean? Pun means that when you take enjoyment, entertainment from using different words. And when you are master of a language, for example, we say a spring is springing and spring like a spring. This is pun. Okay, because you are making a patient is patient by the conditions of his conditions. So these things are called, you know, these are parts of language that we study. Now coming back to the newspaper. So the first headline today is Saudi Arabia arrest princes, ministers in sweeping purge. Purge means that they were cleansing their system, and they have arrested so many princes and ministers. I read each and every word and sentence of this news because it is appealing to me. Because for me, Saudi Arabia is a very interesting state. Interesting doesn't mean it's a good state or bad state. Interesting means that when you are, you know, the thing is appealing to you. I may not read anything about maybe Sierra Leone or maybe, you know, some country, Philippines, maybe. Although I love the president of Philippines, the new president, he's a different person. I love the president of Indonesia, a very different person. So, okay. Now, policy to resolve PMLN rifts soon, Sharif tells aides. For me, this is a news, which today it is a news, but tomorrow it may not be important. So I don't read it. Tomorrow there is another news which will overlap this news, and then I will have no interest in it. Okay, missile from Yemen intercepted near Riyadh airport. So do you know now the meaning of interception? If you know the meaning of the word interception, so then you will enjoy it. Khurshid Shah suggests polls on basis of old census. Now here, census, it is a problem in Pakistan that the people, their national integration, the people that don't recognize some of the people who came from outside, like in Balochistan, Baloch people, they may be, you know, they have some sensitivities in Karachi. So this is again a very interesting topic for the people who are interested in sociology. So how to read, you know, this newspaper from me? Suspect arrested for spreading bomb scare in SSC building. It's a very small news, so I will not waste my time on this. although it may be important. There is, it may be urgent. There is a difference between important and urgent. There is a difference between important and urgent. A bomb blast is something very urgent, but for a scholar, it may not be important. In Zimam's course advisory role, for me, cricket is of no importance. I don't give importance to cricket. I think, this is my own critical thinking, that cricket is one of the reasons that our youth is wasting a lot of time and without any proper exercise or entertainment. So I always go for football. Sometime in life you have to take stands. You shouldn't be called that you should be a yes man. Everybody tells you something and you are okay, yes, yes, and yes. No. I say totally, absolutely no to cricket. And I say absolute yes to football, soccer. Why? 90 minutes, a lot of exercise, a lot of entertainment, international game. Cricket is just only in Commonwealth, not even in Commonwealth countries, in few English-speaking countries. So, for me now, this is a bad news. I feel bad. Why people are giving so much importance to cricket? Why I don't see any news in our newspapers about football, about soccer? Why not? So, for me, cricket is a curse. I don't enjoy it. When I see people hours and hours and hours watching the same game, wasting such a precious capital, which is time, and a lot of sensation in the news and things that this happened and that happened. No, my dream is to promote football, soccer in Pakistan, and that's why our official game in LSI. Do you know LSI, the newcomers here? LSI, Life Skills Institute. Life Skills Institute is a reality of today. I'm live with you people, but one day I want to be real with you people. There's a difference between live, virtual, and real. In LSI, Life Skills Institutes, I want to establish LSI in each and every village and town of Pakistan and then in other countries. So we have real interaction also, because we are all living beings, so we must have understanding of the life skills. So when we read a newspaper, so we should see our interest. As I told you, I have no interest in cricket, so I will not read it and I will feel bad inside. And maybe for language, if I read it, so I will understand it more because I have taken a stand. Okay, I have taken a stand. So when you take some stand, ideological stand, then you absorb that thing easily, because those people, they have done love in their lives, so they know that hate is stronger than love. When you hate somebody, you might have loved some boy or girl, so you remember that when you hate that person, that sentiment is stronger than the love itself. So when you hate something, then you understand that thing more than when you like that thing. Yes, Wasimullah, my topic today is not football. We will discuss football in LSI, Life Skills Institute. Please give it more importance to Life Skills Institute. That is a reality. So LSI, when LSI is Life Skills Institutes, we have taken an initiative. When you search in Facebook, Life Skills Institutes with Naeem Khan, you will get, we have a group where we will become real. Now we are virtual, we are talking to each other through a screen, but one day we may talk to each other in reality. So that will be through LSI, Life Skills Institute. And this is very simple, 5 people, 10 people, they come together, and then I will be discussing more about this in my second session today at 9 p.m. It is already late for this session. So how to read newspapers and how to write in examination hall. So I told you about the newspaper. I sensitize you that when you read a newspaper, you should see where is your interest. is this thing appealing to you or not? That is important. When you go to examination hall or when you are writing, so there in examination hall, you will see words like this: define, define, examine, describe, demonstrate, critically examine, state. What are these? These are different words which you see in examination hall. So now your response to these words is really important. Critically, I wrote it wrong, critically with I. So how you examine something, how you define something, how you demonstrate, describe, narrate, all these words have different connotations, different meanings. So when it is said define, so define means 4 or 5 lines in which you show limits of the topic. Limits. For example, they tell you define photosynthesis. This is a question. So they tell you that what is the difference between photosynthesis and, for example, metabolism. So when you know that photosynthesis, synthesis with photo, with light, synthesizing carbohydrates, food with sunlight, and you consume oxygen and carbon dioxide is created. So this process is called photosynthesis, and this is the definition of photosynthesis. Now they say describe photosynthesis. So this is totally different from definition, although definition becomes part of description. You start from defining and then you describe the details, that how light, what about the chlorophyll, what about the carbohydrates, what about the carbon dioxide, what about the role of oxygen. You go in details. So then that is called description. And when they say demonstrate, so demonstrate means show it, prove it with examples. Okay. For example, you can do photosynthesis in different kinds of plants. In Euglena, for example, is there photosynthesis or not? In amoeba, in paramecium, in a evergreen plant, in a plant which doesn't have leaves all the time. So then you have to give a lot of examples. That is called demonstrate. And when you say just state, so state means give a statement. Just say something about it. And when they say that you narrate, so then you are giving narration in a chronological order. Chronological order means that you start from beginning and you go to the end, date-wise, time-wise. So that is called narration. So in examination hall, please read the question. What is the demand of the question? At that time, be objective, don't be subjective. Because objective means that forget about your mind. Now you have read something, and writing is not for you. Writing is for another person. You can read whatever you want. There is no control on you. But writing is not for for you. It is for another person. So there you must be objective. Keep in mind that what is the demand of the other person who will be reading your writing. What that person is asking you. You must be intelligent enough to understand the difference between reading and writing. You are sitting in your washroom and you are reading any book. Nobody knows what you are reading. Maybe a lot of people on internet, they are reading a lot of pornography and they are reading things, which are nobody knows. That is your personal life. But when you are writing, so you must not be subjective, you must be objective. What is the demand of the examiner. And for that, words like Sikandar wrote there, elucidate, elaborate, means give further details, a lot of details, profound details, go in depth, explore the thing in all its dimensions. Then that is called elaborate. When you elaborate, when you extend the meaning of the question, extend, you give it different dimensions, and then you do it in a multi faceted way. So then that is called elaboration. Elucidation, you clarify the things, the picture becomes clear to the reader, because now you are a writer and another person will read what you have written. So my last point today, my last tip, I'm going to eat something for my next session. Our next session is very important, that is an English language. So we will discuss that. I don't know what's the time. Okay, it is almost over. So give me 5 minutes. I will be coming again. But my last tip for this session is that read for writing. Read for writing. When you read something, so read it for writing. That tomorrow you will be writing on this thing. So you should read, take words, take ideas, take symbols, take information for writing. Don't read just for reading. Read for writing. Tomorrow you are the writer of that book. You are the writer of that article. So how you will write on the same topic. Read with that angle. Don't read just for reading. When you are listening to me, so listen to me that tomorrow you are sitting in my place and you are speaking. So listen for speaking and read for writing. If you understand this very simple thing, you will become another Allama Iqbal in Pakistan. So see you in 5-10 minutes again. Thank you.